I'm optimistic. I'm getting drug tested because I'm gonna win, so I put food in the bag. I mean, I spent most of the year being the bridesmaids. To be honest, like I couldn't quite find a way to win over Ronkovic. Like I'd get beat, and then at North American champs, I lost to Cole. I was racking up, second. So it was good to win when it really, really mattered. Like honestly, I was a pretty anxious, depressed, listless individual, just kind of struggling to get footing in life. My buddy actually sent it to me and he was like, bro, he cooked your ass.
Dan,
Brad,
good to see you, mate.
you too, mate.
We've probably got the most exciting episode to date this week.
Agreed?
A man that will need very little introduction to most of our audience.
Yep.
Hyrox world champion, Dylan Scott. Hi, Dylan.
What's up, fellas? How you guys doing today?
Very, very good,
Very good, mate.
Thank you for joining us all the way from North Carolina, right? So there's a bit of dispute online. Depending on which feed you look at, you might live in California, North Carolina. So clear up for the audience. Where are you? Yeah.
Yeah. So where I am living currently is in the Triangle area of North Carolina, which if you notice from our doubles team, me and Steven, we always throw up the triangle. We're the Triangle Boys because that's where we're both based.
Didn't know that.
That's where we're based out of. So that's why when you see a little triangle come up.
So yeah, I'm in that Jim Carrey always does. What is it? The
No, we're not a part of it. Well, we're not going to admit it if we are. I'll say this. He's had a suspicious rise in how fast he's gotten. So I'm starting to think that maybe. But I'm like, dude, you got to slow down. You're getting too good too fast. They're going to figure it out.
Yeah. They know.
But yeah, so I'm in North Carolina. That's where I'm based out of.
Cool.
Yes, and so the reason that you're here today is because we were obviously really stoked, I guess, to interview the current world champion. I wanted to point out that when you won in Stockholm, it kind of made you undisputed for us because all the big boys were there, right? So you had Tim Venus, who was defending, Hunter, Ronkovic, world record holder. So for me, that makes...
Yeah, it's a good point, actually, because sometimes you get to world championships, and we were just talking about it off camera before, about injuries and things, and quite commonly before any world championships, it could be the Olympics, could be whatever it is, not everyone makes it.
Yeah, I think there's a famous 100-meter champion, Lamont Jacobs, who won the 100 meters because basically no one else was there. Do you know what I'm talking about? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It happens all the time.
Yeah.
You see it happen. You see it happen a lot in indoors as well. Your indoor 60. You've had some guy. I can't. There's a UK guy, Jeremy Azu. Is that who it was?
Yes.
I think he won indoor worlds one year, and it was just because.
No one there. Yeah. No one made it. No one made it to the start. But that's part of the training. Make it to the start. You got to make it to the start line.
Well, that's the thing. So not to take it away from anyone that wins like that, but it's worth making the point that you didn't just win. You beat everybody. You beat all the names out there. So kudos to you, I guess, in that respect.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, I spent most of the year being the bridesmaids. To be honest, I couldn't quite find a way to win over Ronkovic. I would get beat, and then at North American champs, I lost to Cole. I was racking up, second. So it was good to win when it really, really mattered. So
how did it make you feel when that? Well, how did it make you feel when that kept happening?
Coming in second?
Yeah.
Felt so. I was pretty happy because I knew I was improving was the thing. I was getting better and I was just trying to figure out how am I gonna beat him?
Yeah.
So I mean because when you lose, there's losing to yourself because you failed to prepare adequately, you made mistakes and you did something stupid. And I'll beat myself up for that way more than I'll beat myself up over I got beaten by them. And Ronco just beat me a couple of times. And I was I've gotta figure out to get to where I can actually beat him.
So you were happy with your performances when you came second?
Yeah. I mean, I walked away from it and I was you always want to be first. I wanted to be first, but I looked back at the race and how I executed things. And I was like, well, dude, I think you did the best you could that day. What else are you going to ask for yourself other than to go back into training and figure out, okay, you did 100 wall balls unbroken, but your cycle rate's too slow. We're going to either need to speed your cycle rate up or figure out how in the first 50 minutes of the race to create a bigger gap. It just becomes a question of what are the areas that you can go shore up versus looking back at the race and going, wow, that was really stupid how you tactically approached that. I would beat myself up if I thought I lost the race, not if I got beaten.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I mean, there have been races I've won that I've walked away way more unhappy.
Yeah. I know.
I won New York leading into Worlds. I was way more unhappy with winning New York than I was losing Warsaw.
Because it
because
wasn't
I was like,
you didn't race the best, like it wasn't the best race you've had.
yeah, I walked away from it and I was like, dude, that was, I wasn't happy with this, this, and this. Whereas I walked away from Warsaw and I had maybe one thing that I was like, I wish I could have done that a little better,
But
but it wouldn't have changed the outcome.
yeah.
I would have lost by 35 seconds. So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah. So I,
Do you have a
you
coach?
know,
Do you have a coach?
no, I've been my own coach for years now.
Yeah. Okay.
And just, I don't
Do
know. I
many,
feel like,
do many of, I mean, obviously, I know you don't know every
yeah,
athlete, but do many of them, because I don't see, in triathlon, it's very common that the good, the good guys have a coach they just, obviously it's easier to listen to someone, because when you analyze it yourself, you're probably you're your worst best critic, aren't you? If that makes sense. Whereas if you have a coach, it's easier to see the long-term project. But Hyrox, I don't see many people with a coach. Dearden has a guy, doesn't he? And it's on his YouTube
it's
all the time.
it's growing. So a lot more people have coaches than they did like a year or 2 years ago. So
Okay.
like if we go down the podium, like Tim Winnish, I mean Tim has a coach. If you look at Louis, I'm not sure if Louis has a coach. Um Hunter, he was working with somebody. Ronco works with somebody.
Okay.
I'm not sure if Luke Greer works with anyone.
I don't think
Um
he. I don't think he does.
Yeah,
We
he might
actually
do.
have
on
comms. Luke Greer. I run cross country against Luke Greer.
I did too. He used to beat my ass.
No way.
Um yeah, dude.
He beats my ass.
Yeah, dude. He gave me a whooping in college, man. He
No way. That's
destroyed
funny.
me.
Yeah.
So I'll have to send you over the picture. I created a trophy that says current former division South cross country champion turned Hyrox, like where we compete and we trade that trophy back and forth for
That's
whoever
great.
wins the Hyrox race now.
Yeah.
I'll send you a picture of it.
How
But
funny
yeah,
is that though? That you've like met, race cross country, and you're both now. I mean,
Both in that elite 15.
because
Yeah.
does he live in the UK now, or is he still out there?
yeah, he's in the UK now.
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, because because I didn't even realize. And then I was looking at the results and things, and I was like, oh my god, like that's the same. I didn't know
Yeah,
it's the same guy. It was that.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah,
It was so
crazy.
crazy how like small things like the world became because let's say this was last year, a little past June, so a little past World Championships. Luke reaches out, he sends me a message. He's like, "Dude, I don't know if you remember me." So I'm 1 year older than Luke. So the year after I graduated, after he had decimated me at South Regionals, I was back there, and I was back there helping coach, and he got into a furious kick race with a guy from UNC Pembroke, a Kenyan dude there, and lost the 10K by point 0.1 of a second. But I remember the race distinctly, and I remember his name and all that kind of stuff because he ran it. Well, the name of the place is escaping me, but it's in Tennessee. Um, So I remember, I was like, yeah, dude, I remember you super
Yeah,
well because I was
yeah.
cheering my head off because you were about to kick that Kenyan guy down, and he just like
And he just
he
outdid him.
got
Yeah.
yeah, and he just like nipped you on the line. It's one of the better cross country races I've watched. So he was
American
like, dude,
cross
I'm getting
country though is not the same as British cross country.
Oh, okay. Why is
it,
that?
it's
There's no mud.
I
They don't have any mud. It's like
it's
sand. Flat.
it's grass track is
Yeah.
what it is. It's
Yeah.
grass track. Like
Oh,
luckily this course was actually a little it had a little bit to it.
a little bit of
It
mud.
wasn't yeah, it was a little bit, but I mean like you even saw at World Cross Country Championships, like what we put together down in Tallahassee. It was very interesting like I don't know, it looked like a carnival. It did. They put a little bit of mud. They made a little water pit. They're like,
Yeah.
"Here, you want to jump over some alligators?" You're like, what is this?" Versus like, I'll watch UK or I watch like Eurocross and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's a lot more grindy.
Yeah. Like in the UK and my last cross country race, it was the worst conditions I've ever raced in, and everybody was just like, mate, black from like waist down.
Yeah.
Mud just everywhere. Like you just couldn't see your legs. It was crazy. People were falling over in the mud and everything, and it's just such a leveler. It's crazy, crazy, crazy times.
The place you'll sometimes get that here in the States is when they race like Nike Cross Nationals up in Portland. And then you get like
Yeah,
horrible weather up there. I've
yeah,
seen there's been some yucky races that where like the winning time for guys who could run high 14s in high school will be like 17:10. Like
yeah,
it'll be totally thrown out the window.
yeah.
But getting away from all that, I think there's a lot more coaches now in the space than there were. And I think you're going to continue to see that trend line. And maybe one day I'll get a coach, but honestly, I've
Yeah, I
been
mean, you're
pretty
kind of doing
happy
that,
with
so you know.
yeah. if I need to change, I'll change. But for right now, I think on both the physical and the mental side, I've done a really good job of tailoring the needs that I have for my, and so I've been happy with it.
Yeah, fair.
And you can't argue with the world champion if it's
No,
working.
yes,
Like, you know, it's kind of, at this point, Dylan, we trust you. All
Yeah,
right.
you're doing all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I mean, like it's good to not get like confirmation bias of like, oh, I've won things and I've continually gotten better and everything like that, and then you start to buy into like, oh, I can only be right, I can never be wrong, because I can definitely be wrong. I've been wrong a lot. You can ask my wife. Um, and so there's definitely that kind of stuff. But yeah, as I think the other thing is like triathlon's been around for a long time,
That,
running around for a long time.
agreed. You guys are kind of like the first generation. So,
For sure.
You're the guys who are going to become coaches. Like, I think you coach. Do you coach now? You coach?
Yeah. I've got like
you
50 athletes that I work with.
So, like, you guys are going to be the coaches who coach the next world champions, basically.
Yep.
That's
exactly.
And it's the same with triathlon. Trying to think of famous coaches. Well, Jan does a little bit. Jan, I don't know how much you know triathlon and stuff.
Yep. Yeah, I know Jan Frodeno.
Yeah, like he does a little bit with people, not a massive amount, but he was a world champion, the next world champion, coach people. So yeah,
same in every sport, really, isn't it?
Same in every sport.
I would say so.
Yeah,
managing or coaching.
Yeah,
that's the next role for them to take. So
yeah,
and then you pretty quickly figure out the people who are just naturally gifted at it and have no ability to actually teach somebody something versus the people who are like, oh, this guy does know his stuff and knows how to convey it at different levels.
Yeah, because it is a different skill. You're right. The art of coaching, having the knowledge is one, but then the art of coaching is a completely different thing.
Yeah, but people still make a lot of money just from being good and, and pretending to coach.
Dude, I 100% agree. Like your athletic credentialism can go a long way in a realm where you're actually not gifted at all,
especially with Instagram.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure that being like because what Brad, like what all do you coach? Or not Brad, Dan, what all do you coach? Sorry.
I actually like mainly running in triathlon, but now a bit of Hyrox to be fair as well. I've got quite a few Hyrox athletes, and for me, coaching Hyrox is actually, don't take this in a bad way. It's simpler because a lot of the Hyrox guys they come to me quite strong.
Yes,
but they've just got no understanding of like zones or like thresholds, and you must see this, and that your running background, it's way more disciplined. In the UK at the moment, everybody just does a sim every week. They do constant sims, and I'm like, how about we come away from the sims and we learn to get strong, and we learn to, let's use these zones. They're quite popular in every other sport. And then it takes a little bit to sort of like convince them it works, and then you have to go through a few little processes, a few little testing, and then they tend to get stronger and they end up getting stronger and faster and feeling better. They feel better on a daily basis because they're not just thrashing themselves every day.
No,
sim.
Dude, the number of times that I had to pull people off of that, like exactly right there. Because they'll come in, and especially like you start taking away a ton of intensity and a ton of strength work, and they're like, oh, I'm going to get slow and I'm going to get weak and I'm like, no, you're not. Like we're doing plenty for strength maintenance, and then we're going to re-enter. And like also your back squat is not going to like be what determines how well you're moving a sled. Like it's not, because I'm terrible at those movements, but somehow actually the sled push at Worlds, I was pretty terrible at that too. So maybe
we're going to talk about that. I remember you saying about that. You get away with that. We're going to mention it.
All that said, I completely agree that it's not that hard to take most people and improve their times by 10 minutes when they're coming from just like a general gym background where they do a bunch of classes, and like I'm always working at 80%, and I'm never doing 95 because I'm always too damn tired to reach 95. I'm never doing 55 or 60 because that feels too easy.
How many hours a week would you normally clock in? Are you volume? Are you
Dude, I'm volume.
Yeah.
Through the roof. I train like 25, 30 hours a week.
Okay.
And the way that I've broken down how I train is I train like a triathlete that rows instead of swims.
Yeah.
And I train like a CrossFitter.
Man, I wish I could do that. I wish I could take my swimming out.
I've gotten rid of the swimming and I just do it on the fucking rower. And then basically train like a CrossFitter who doesn't do a lot of gymnastics or Olympic lifts, but does a bunch of big chippers with body weight and machine movements. Um,
Well,
yeah, that's
the CrossFit Games is. Do you watch much of the CrossFit
oh
stuff?
yeah, yep,
Yeah,
yep, yep,
it's
big on
next
that.
week, isn't it?
Yep,
And so Amy Kringle, I don't know if you know Amy Kringle.
yep. I know Amy Kringle.
She trains in Worcester, where we're based.
She came on this podcast.
She's been on the
actually, in past,
podcast.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
And
Yeah, so
she's
I'll definitely be
tipped-
watching.
She's tipped to like do real well.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I did
agreed.
her. So last year I did her swimming and her running.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
They've got. I'm trying to think of what. Well, I know they just released. They're doing a 500-meter sprint.
They've got a trail run as well this year, like a crazy
Beautiful.
trail run. Yeah, it's great, honestly. And
They got so much muscle though.
they've got more events than ever this year. I think it's like there's one day with like 8 events in. It's just like back to back to back to back because the last few years, ever since COVID, it's been very much quite regimented, like just 2 events or 3 events, and they're quite simple events. They're not. Then they had obviously what happened a couple of years ago, which kind of wasn't great. Wasn't great for the sport. But last year was such a good event, so that was great.
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of now getting a bit more confidence and moving away from it. So it should be good. It's in Tennessee. Is it in Tennessee?
No. It's out in no, Tennessee is where like in like Cookeville and everything. That's where a lot of CrossFit is out of in terms of like you've got like Mayhem and all them out of Cookeville. The games I believe are out in California this year again. So they've bounced back and forth. I think we froze it. We're good.
We lost you for a sec.
We're
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah. They've bounced back and forth. They were in Albany last year in New York.
Yeah.
For a long time they were in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And now they're going back. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Sound.
Let me make sure. Hey, guys, let me make sure because my thing's spinning and saying reconnecting. I'm connected. We're
it seems
talking.
good.
We can hear you.
We just lost you for a little bit.
Okay, I'm just making sure that because my thing says I'm reconnecting. I just don't want it to
Yeah.
some
We'll
reason
shout.
mess up.
If we
But,
lose you, we'll let you know for sure.
Okay,
It's the US Wi-Fi, mate. It's not great.
you're not wrong. Probably. Actually, the Wi-Fi in this house can get a little shoddy. You're not.
Yeah. It's a big place to cover, mate. There's a lot of ground to cover in the US.
I don't think people clock sometimes like how big it is.
Oh, mate.
Oh, I've looked before. Like we're just pathetically
Mate.
small. aren't
So
we?
I
Yeah.
spend quite a few summers in California. Got a friend, a triathlete friend who lives. Well, he works for. He's quite high up in Intel, the computer software company. So Folsom in California.
Yep.
So I spent quite a bit of time there, and I did Ironman California a few years ago, and honestly, it wows me. Like literally, I flew into where did I fly into? LAX, and he was like, I was like, I'll just rent a car, and he's like, dude, just get an internal flight. Like get an internal flight to Sacramento. It's so much easier because you just got dudes there in like high vis jackets going to work. Like like in the UK we get a bus. You guys just like go to work on an internal flight.
Everything. Well, I mean, around here. Well, in most places, everything's cars. It's just like, and then if you're in LA and you get in that traffic out there, you're like, dude, it makes more sense to take a flight than it does to try to drive that.
Yeah.
So I get it. Luckily, where I'm at's not nearly as populated.
Yeah.
So we won't have it as bad.
But
yeah, I guess we can.
Yeah. Where were we? What were we?
Talking CrossFit Games, talking Amy Kringle, saying that the games are going to be out in California.
Yeah.
So
whereabouts? Do we know where in California they are?
All right. So the reason I'm tapped into, I've always been a CrossFit fan for a good while. But the agency that I'm with, they have a lot of CrossFit athletes. Yeah. So I'm tapped in with it pretty big time.
Yeah.
So I was just talking to him the other day, but for some reason it evades me.
I can't remember where it is either.
Let me look. I can pull it up real fast. See, that's why I brought the computer over here, so I can.
I like it.
They
the effort levels.
The guys locally to us, so the coaches that I know, just signed up with Brute Strength.
Okay.
Do you know Brute Strength? They've got who's the guy who won it last year? Hopkins? What is it?
Oh, Jason Hopper.
Yeah, Jason Hopper. Yeah, so he's with Brute Strength. They just signed Amy with Brute Strength. So that's been really big for them, to be honest. Really big.
It's San Jose, California.
San Jose, yes, I do know that. They've got a 70.3 there. That's why I knew when Amy said it. I was like, I know that place.
I'm going to nod like I know what that is.
Yeah. All right. So wait. So here's a question for you guys, because I keep hearing you talk about like the competitions, everything that you've done. Like,
what's Brad
give
done?
me some times here. How fast? Man. How fast are we talking? Because you look fast. You look like you look fast. Yeah, dude.
No, he's funny.
No,
he's not that stupid.
I don't know. What do you want to know?
I just want to hear some times. You've got the runner, like the ears pierced, skinny arms. You look fast.
Dan is fast.
Dude, you got to remember as well, man. I'm 39, so I'm old as well.
Yeah, Rich Ryan's 40. He was at Worlds. I don't want to hear it.
That's true. Yeah.
True.
That's true. Yeah.
Dylan, you're 27, right?
No. I'm older than that. I'm 30.
Oh, really? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sorry,
He's almost over the hump.
I knew. I thought you were slightly younger than that. Fair enough. 30's cool.
I don't know, like what? My 10K time's like 32 minutes?
Yeah. 32 minutes?
Yeah, it's not too bad. 70.3 times like 4:02.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah, it's all right. I don't really do you know, this is going to sound weird, but like my run times aren't that impressive. I end up just like pacing people and stuff, but like I could run like a 15-minute 5K.
I see. You put a whooping on me.
That, mate, not a chance. You just
in a 5K? Dude, I'm slow, brother. I'm like, I'd run like a 15:45, man.
Yeah, but that's fast, mate.
I mean, yes, okay, it is, but it is, but we know what fast is. When the world record's 12:35, we know what fast is.
This is why when you ask me about times, I don't say them too openly because I know what's quick.
Well, exactly. I mean,
because I coach people so much faster than me as well. You know, like I coach people who run 30-minute 10Ks.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah, or
I mean,
a 14-minute 5K.
If you could control your recovery, you would. And that's why A1 Physique's protein coffee comes packed with types 1 and 3 collagen, essential for repairing those tendons and ligaments that you damage during your intense exercise. Grab it from the website, use code AskTheCoach, and you'll get 20% off your very first order.
Or they'll go under 4 hours for a 70.3. Or my Ironman time's probably one of my better times. I've done an 8:39 at Ironman. So that's
impressive. Yeah, that's. I mean, all of those times are solid, but that 8:39, I would agree, that's probably your best one.
I could probably go quicker than that now. It was a couple of years ago, so I'm gonna do Roth. I don't know if you know Challenge Roth. It's a massive.
Yep, they just had it.
They just had it, yeah. So I'm going to do that next year, and I said it this year, but I ended up not doing it. So I just deferred it, and I'm going to try and go as close to 8 hours as possible. So it's a quick course.
You said sub 8 to me.
Sub 8. He said 7:59.
You did say sub 8 to me. Yeah. Don't let him wriggle out of it now.
So Brad, you're in the Hyrox space. You said.
Yes, I mean I've done some Hyrox races. Don't give me any credit at all, but yeah, it's like a habit, a hobby for me more than anything.
Okay, well then, what is your sports background that you come from?
To be fair, I didn't have one, Dylan. I've become really interested in running as a consequence of Hyrox, interestingly, because I naturally am much more into weightlifting and strength and conditioning.
Brad's one of those guys that if he touches a dumbbell, he gains the biggest muscles you've ever seen.
I think that's just genetics and body composition.
Honestly,
right?
mate, he's such a responder. It's crazy.
So that's where I lean, and then when you start running in Hyrox, you realise, of course, a lot of running. So that's where Dan kind of comes in and helps me with. I'd never done any zone 2 training ever before, not even understood what that meant. Like you sort of alluded to before, work at 80%, suffer, and try and brute force it, which doesn't obviously manifest very well. And that's where I sort of grew this genuine inquisition into like running and how to get better. And this is how we got to this podcast, really, because I was so curious about how to improve. And we did improve me quite a lot, to be honest, as a quite a heavy guy anyway.
And he ran a marathon this year as well, so.
I did the whole 26 miles. I
did the whole 26. Got there to the end.
Honestly, yeah. At mile 20, I was praying. I was seeing stars. Yeah, it was tough. But
dude, I hate marathons so much.
It's such a
I can't.
It's such a long way. Why do people do that? Yeah.
Dude, I would rather run a trail. So I ran a 50K before I ever ran a marathon, and I ran a 50K because I broke my wrist and I couldn't really do anything else. So dude, so I've ran 2 marathons. All right. I ran the marathon to qualify for Boston, and I ran Boston, and that's it. And so what happened was in 2020, this was right before I got into doing, Hyrox. I had just moved up from my hometown all the way up to New Hampshire. So I was brand new place. Within 5 days of moving, I shattered my wrist. I took a fall doing something stupid and just decimated it. And so I couldn't do anything but ride an indoor bike trainer and run. So with that, I decided, I was like, dude, I'm going to set up my own 50K race and I'm just going to do it solo one morning. So,
Mad,
so I go
clever.
off on Halloween. It was Halloween of 2020. I set up a little over 8K loop. And on the back of my car, I put a Red Bull, a Rice Krispie treat, a Red Bull, a Rice Krispie, and that was my fueling strategy. So
Excellent.
Hopefully, it's
I
improved
go,
since then. Yeah.
That's still that. That's all. That's it.
so I go rip this 50K, and it was a mix of, I would say, 30% easy trails, and then the rest was kind of asphalt concrete sort of deal. And I averaged like 7:15, 7:10 mile pace. And so I was just kind of messing around. So I text my boss, and he used to be a triathlete at a pretty high level. He was like low fours in the half Ironman kind of deal. And he's absolute insane person. Love him to death. And he was like, "Hey, dude, that's pretty good. I'm running Boston this year. I think you can qualify. Go. Is there a marathon going on?" So there's a marathon 10 days later. And
Wow.
he was like, "Sign up for it. Go race it." And I was like, "All right, why not?" So I sign up for it, go race it. And I go run 247 really high. Um, it's like 247.58, something like that. Qualify for Boston. And then I was like, "All right, I'll race Boston with you." And so we raced Boston. And my legs hurt so bad. Like, like I felt like somebody beat me with a hammer
Well, we
by the
got
time I
a
got
dude.
done.
So
And I
after
was like, I'm
you,
never doing this again.
we got a local dude coming on after. I coach him, and
Yeah.
at the weekend he just did a 100K race.
Yeah, dude, ridiculous.
Nine hours,
I'm not running that far. Now,
9 hours 18 it took him. So it was pretty good. He comes third, which is pretty good. But yeah, 100K. It's honestly, he still can't walk. He still can barely walk. He's still.
yeah,
Honestly, it's too much.
I
Isn't it?
can't. I've seen people, but some folks recover from it so
Yeah.
fast. Like I've seen folks do 100 milers and then they're back at it within a week or so, and I'm like, how are you?
How are you
I'd
doing
be
it?
limping for months.
How's after you do like a Hyrox race, what's your recovery like?
It really depends. So like, I've had races hit me hard where I'm not ready to train in any decent capacity again for like 5 to 7 days,
No
where I
way.
have to just do easy work.
Yeah,
And then I've
yeah.
had races where I could get up the next day and I'm fine. Like,
Crazy.
and I think a lot of it comes down to how dehydrated you get during the race.
Yeah.
Because if you start getting like really, really dehydrated, the amount of muscular damage you accrue late is so much higher. So at the lunges and the wall balls, your quads get torched. But if it's been in like a cool arena, and I feel like I get fluids in well throughout the race and after, I recovered pretty fast, and I can wake up next day and be like, all right, we could, because like at Worlds, I had to race solos, doubles,
I was going to
one
ask
day
you about
off,
that. Yeah.
relay, and I really didn't feel that bad, to be honest with you. But yeah, there have been times where I get up and I'm like, couldn't race. I
Yeah.
don't know how much money or how many death threats I would need.
Yeah,
Like,
I just couldn't do it.
yeah.
Crazy. No way. So when you did like the back to backs like after like this year,
hmm
why do you think it was just do you think generally because so in the race you don't really see you guys drink.
You
You
must
just
have
don't.
a
Yeah.
nutrition strategy during the race, though.
Yeah. So I mean, it's hard to take in fluids during the race,
Yeah.
just honestly, because there's not a lot. Like, you're getting a finite amount of opportunities to hit a water stop or anything like that. And
Yeah.
then two, like every second's pretty precious. And then number three is if you spill it, like you might get a penalty. So water becomes a little bit, taboo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'll sometimes set a bottle out and then I'll just throw that bottle in the bin just to not get in trouble. But most of the time it's just gels. And then when I finish races, I just hammer water.
How
Um,
how many jails will you get in a race?
Normally two, 2.5.
Okay, that
Um,
surprises me
so
because
yeah,
Quite a
yeah.
lot.
So
it's so short.
it is, and I used to race with nothing. Like I
Yeah.
used to go the whole race and didn't take anything. But I've found that there's some benefit to taking one like right after the sled pull and right after the rower.
Yeah.
And
It's
it's just
probably going to
like
speed up your recovery as well, I
It will speed
suspect.
up your recovery,
Yeah.
yeah, because you
yeah,
just
for
restoring
sure,
your
for sure.
glycogen. Yeah.
Having some kind of intra workout nutrition.
And truthfully, like when you finish and you've just won the world championships, I can't imagine you were able to just nip off and grab some food
Everyone's trying to grab you. for,
because they all
Well,
want to talk to you.
well, no, I mean, you got drug testing too, so like,
Yeah.
so I'm immediately thinking about like, okay, one, if I want to get out of here in the next 3 hours, I better start drinking because it takes me forever to pee after a race. So
Oh,
I'm
you've got
like,
nothing left inside. Yeah, you've got no
dude,
liquids.
I go over and just start like I'll immediately try to get down close to 1.5 2 liters of water, like as fast as I can. And then I'm like, hey, you also need some salt, so you're gonna kill yourself, dog. Like, don't go too hard. Like,
literally.
yeah. I'm like, we don't need that.
No.
I don't need my brain to swell and explode. So like, that'd be tragic. But yeah, so it takes a while, but like you're talking to everybody, you're trying to get in fluids, and then normally in my bag, I'll have packed food, because, I'm optimistic. I'm like, I'm getting drug tested because I'm going to win. So I put food in the bag. And so
That's
you
good.
walk with your liaison and everything and go try to get your food and just eat. And before you can get a proper meal, it's probably going to be 2.5 hours normally.
Quite a long
Caveat
time.
to that, and I don't know why I just thought of it. So obviously you've been racing a little while now. What keeps you racing? What keeps you hungry?
It's like race, man. Like it's funny. I told people like I didn't mean to become a world champion. That was never my goal. Never like I didn't look at the sport and go, I'm gonna go be the best in the world at it. Like honestly, I was a pretty like anxious, depressed, listless individual. Just kind of struggling to get footing in life.
Yeah.
And and this is in my early 20s, and I like turned to exercise. I'd already been an athlete for a while.
Yeah, so you just a runner at college, just
Yeah,
run.
I was a runner in high school, and dude, I only got 1 year of college because I injured my back and couldn't run for 3 years. So I missed like almost all of college running. I literally got one season across, and then I was graduated. So, um, but I got out and I was like, dude, I think I still have some athletic potential. So, I had that, and I was just battling a lot of things mentally, and I turned to exercise, and I just laid into it. And then Hyrox came along, and I was like, well, I'm already training 20 hours a week. Like, why don't we put it towards something? So I started racing, and I was like, wow, I'm actually pretty good at this. And then it became like, well, if you're doing all this and you're already pretty good, and this is like 3 or 4 years in, and I'd won a good bit and I'd been at the world stage, I was like, maybe we should try to win it all. And that's when I finally kind of started making the turn and getting sponsors and had an agent that really believed in me. And like, it's people along the way that have spurred this journey further than I intended it for it to go. Honestly. And so that's what kind of got me there. But what's been the basis of it all is I just love to train. Like
Yeah.
I'd be doing this if there was nothing to compete in. I would just be like, let's see how fit I can get. And that's about
like,
it.
I like that, like an accidental world champion. Like you don't meet many of them.
No,
Do you ever?
it's a weird thing to say.
Yeah, but it's like it's kind of what you've just summed it up.
Just
is
that good.
Yeah, it's kind of
yeah.
Do you ever create like rivalries during the day, like friendly rivalries, just to like spur you on? Like
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Like,
Oh,
in a
absolutely.
race, you like I got to be in front of him then, because if I'm not, then or I've got it, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like I wanted to beat Luke. Like we have our little silly
Yeah,
trophy thing I was talking about. Like,
No, that's cool.
and I mean, like, so me and my doubles partner Steven, I don't get it wrong. Like, there's a lot of shit talking that we do to each other. Like,
That's good.
Cool, that's cool.
Good.
like trust me, if I do anything and it looks remotely heavy, he's gonna chirp me. He's gonna be like, "Wow, looking kind of weak today." And and then the other thing around, like we'll be running or something, and maybe he's a little off, and I'm like, "Yeah, it's because you're a fat ass, dude. Like you weigh 190 pounds. Of course you can't run."
Yeah.
So there's definitely
cool.
that.
Yeah.
And then, but like when I came into the sport, I was much more competitive, like aggressively in that same way of like, I looked at my competitors and I wanted to destroy them.
Yeah.
Now it's not that way. And I think a lot of that has been along the way. I've had a son and like, but became a dad, got married, all that kind of stuff. And it softens you, but I think it softens you in a good way.
Yeah.
Because like you don't need to walk around with that kind of chip all the time.
No, it's exhausting.
Dude, it's so exhausting. And it makes you like overly anxious about things. And so yeah, a lot of that has gone away. And now they're still my competitors. Like I line up and I say I have to beat you.
Yeah.
But I don't want to destroy you. Like there's a difference. I have to beat you because this is our race, this is our job, and I want to be the best. But I'm not looking for you to fail. And that's different. I'm looking for you to be the best version of you, and I hope I can beat that.
It's sort of like a saying I keep repeating all the time at the moment is like pressure creates diamonds. So like
that's been said before, don't you?
Yeah, I know, but I haven't made it up, but it's true. Like and I was talking about it in the World Cup. I know this sounds crazy, but like the World Cup this year had like loads more teams, and I said it's kind of, and I know this is a strange caveat, but there's loads more teams in the World Cup, so that the quality wasn't as good. But then obviously, like England game, great example.
Yep.
You know, Argentina under a lot of pressure, but then like pressure creates diamonds. So it's like the best comes out when you're in the like you're under pressure. Everyone brings the best, like brings their A game. So then you create like you truthfully, and this is not discrediting you. No one expected you to win, but pressure created a diamond.
I think there were people
You know?
that had Dylan down. Looking back at the commentary, and there were people that were really rooting for you to
I
win.
know they might have been rooting for you to win, but that's different.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't the favourite to win. You know, in the press conferences, it was like all geared up to a certain two people, and you know, so but a lot
I
of
mean,
pressure,
you're not wrong.
Yeah,
You're not wrong. Like there are plenty of people who backed me and who wanted me to win.
Yeah.
And I think that like, I mean, I even have athletes that I coach that were like, "Hey, I want you to win, but here's my top 3." And I wasn't, no, and I wasn't number 1. And he was like, but at the same time, I appreciate that. You know, I don't want people to just blow smoke up my ass and be like, "Oh, we always believed in you. We think you're gonna win." Like, because guess what? You know who else didn't think I was gonna win? Me.
Yeah, no, fair
Like,
enough. Yeah.
if you told me to put a top 3, I was not putting myself first. But I've said this every year that I've competed. I always have a percentage chance of winning.
Yeah.
And I'm going to fight for every one of those percentage points. Because, you know, if I have a 5% chance of winning and we run it 100 times, I'll win 5 times. Who knows what iteration of that race is going to be?
Yeah.
You know, it might be the 93rd time where I don't win, or it might be the 97th where I do. This one was the 97th. I won. So, like, I completely get it. And
I wanted to ask you then, because Hyrox is a little bit different to races in terms of there's so many variables, right? And so you sort of said that you've looked at this in 2 different dynamics where you are looking to beat people, but equally you will run to a blueprint that you've trained for. You understand your zones and your metrics and where you're strong and where you need to push and pull. In that Elite 15 lineup, how are you racing? Are you racing thinking, right, I know what I'm doing, I've got a blueprint, I'm sticking to it, or are you looking at the dust that people have left you for and going, I need to react differently? Are you reactive, or are you sort of strict?
if you're going to be reactive, I think it's better to be reactive a little bit late than too early, which is normally not the case. Like normally you don't want to react too late, but in this sport, I think you can there's a lot of time to be brought back late in the race, but you can do a lot of damage early. So if you're trying to cover early moves or go with early groups or anything like that, I think especially for my skill set, I'm going to pay such a heavy price trying to do that I'm better off being like, okay, I might react too late, but the only place I can react starts after this point. So maybe, you know, sometimes in races I pass by that point and then I start reacting later than I could. And that's a race where I've already put myself in contention. I'm closer than I expected to be. And I'm like, I don't have to sell this yet. But then like at this race, the minute that I got away from that sled push that just, you know, brutalized me, I was like, well, you have to go now. Like the work has to start now. Whereas I would have liked for the work to have started when I got to the burpees. But so I had to go, I came out running, Tim comes past, and I said, like, normally I could be like, okay, I don't have to push really hard off this sled. I was like, I have to hook on to Tim. We have to start going now because we've given up a minute. And so yeah, there's a reactive component to it, but you have to pick. And that means that I can't go out with the first group in the first run. I can't ski 140 flat, and I can't go try to blitz the sled push. It's just so antithetical to what I'm good at doing that I would create such a hole that it would destroy the back end of my race. And the back end of my race, I'm going to bleed so much more time. I can lose 2 minutes in the back end of the race compared to a minute in the beginning. So that's kind of how I have a blueprint. There are times when I'd like to make the moves, but there are times when I'm forced to make moves that are a little earlier than I would have liked to, and I just have to go.
What do you think happened at the sled in this race specifically that caused you? Because I think you left in 14th. So to come back from that is wild, by the way. But how do you get to that point and then, kick on?
I mean, Hyrox isn't going to like the response, but like it was a shitty sled lane.
There is a bit of controversy about this,
yeah.
Like it's not, and here's how I can really compare this. So if we go look at the numbers, Hunter put a minute on me. Alex put about 50 seconds on me, and Tim put about 40 seconds on me. I've raced most of these guys all year, And normally I'm down on them by like, 10 to 15 seconds.
Yeah.
So that's the first part. And you go, okay, well, they just pushed a lot harder that day. Here's what really solidifies it. The next day I raced pro doubles. The sled I touched felt so much easier and so much
Yeah.
lighter.
Yeah.
Tim and Alex, two guys that had on average outpushed me by about 45 seconds versus me and Steven. Now Steven's good at sled push, but he's not like a bulldozer, okay? He moves it well. We outpushed them by 14 seconds.
Yeah. So
That's
it puts
wild.
into
How
perspective, doesn't it, really?
how do you get two guys that put 45 on me? We just
Yeah.
add Steven in. I feel like the sled feels amazing. I've already got a whole race in my legs, and like all of a sudden we flip it by 14 seconds the other way. That has to come down to lane discrepancies, and because you don't choose like a slow pacing strategy in doubles, you just push the shit out of the sled,
Yeah. Just
and
mad.
like that's it. So for there to be a 14-second flip a day after, it's something that tells me, and especially the other thing is that I was able to run with Tim off of the sled. If I'm getting killed and I'm having a bad day, I could never do that. Like
Yeah.
I would get left in the dust because I've had it happen before. I've had bad days like Phoenix. We go look at Phoenix. I had one of the slower sled pushes and then I could never find anything after that. This race was different. And so that points to me to something being off with that one lane. Um, and you saw the same thing happen to the female that had that lane as well.
Well, you
She's
said that.
normally go
Go on.
ahead.
Sorry. No, sorry. I was going to say you said that Hyrox won't like you saying that. What's the mechanics inside then? Are they not openly discussing this as a potential issue, or is it?
I mean, they are, but they don't like. I mean, they are, but they wouldn't like it because they don't see it as a problem and they don't agree from the conversations that I've had. But like, I disagree with that. In the fact that they're like, well, these are brand new sleds and this is brand new turf, so like it, and we've checked things, so it has to be right. And unfortunately, I remember that the reasoning that was given last year for when the new turf was rolled out, that the reason that is because it was brand new sleds and brand new turf, there was issues with like the fire retardant material that's built into the sled had not gotten into. So like, if you're telling me there's been problems with new turf, but now you're telling me new turf can't have problems, those are contradicting arguments. And as much as I want Hyrox to succeed and do well, and I'm not here to shit talk them or anything like that, because I think I've seen the improvement of the sport over the last 6 years, and it's a hell of a lot better than it was. Don't get me wrong. But I know what a sled feels like when they feel different, and mine felt different.
I mean, you
I
pushed
wasn't,
multiple sleds.
You got some
Dude,
experience to lean on.
You know, yeah.
yeah, I'm pretty well versed in it.
I remember seeing some Instagram videos from last year, and it was like these massive blokes were trying to push these sleds,
just wouldn't
and it
move.
just wouldn't move. And
Yeah.
it was like the dude's like to the judge, like this is, and then he'd move to the next
Yeah.
lane and
Push
then
it.
just push it. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, it doesn't look great, but I get it. It's hard.
It's an evolving sport still, right? They're still
Yeah,
figuring
like there's
stuff
still
out.
some things. Like I'm adamant that you guys, and this is no discredit into your bodies, though you all look great,
I know where this is going now.
but I feel like you need to wear shirts.
Oh,
I know. This is my thing. This is my own individual theory. He's devastated. But I think because I genuinely think it'll make the Olympics. I do. I think the hype is mega, and I think it should get in the Olympics.
Do you think it will, Dylan, from your perspective?
from the way that it's grown,
Yeah,
I think it has a very good possibility.
it does. Maybe
Like,
not the next one, but the one after. You know.
I think it has a possibility. And racing in shirts is like fine. I've raced in singlets before. Like
Yeah,
it's
I
not,
just feel
it's
like-
not an impossible task.
Yeah, I just feel like it would make it like people look, and I'm from the neutral point of view, they look at this sport and they just think it's people running around with the shirts off. You know, these
Well,
blokes.
it
just
is
go-
like
It
that.
is,
That
yeah.
it is.
And, but they're
Because
like,
other sports are just people running around with their shirts on. So
oh,
like,
yeah.
Is it just a heat management thing from your perspective?
for me, it is like I sweat like abysmally, and I get out there and I'm like anything I can do to be able to shed heat faster, I'm gonna do. So like I'm gonna race shirtless. I mean, if you think about if it was a vanity thing, I would probably keep my shirt on because look at the guys I stand beside versus myself. Okay, so
You
like
do
all
have-
these other.
Some of
Yeah.
them geezers are just like Adonises.
Yeah.
You've got a runner's physique.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like if it was that I was looking, I was like, dude, I think I look good. I'm gonna be shirtless. It's like, well, why? You're putting yourself beside people that have a much better physique than you, you ding dong. Like this is stupid.
But no, I see like the Olympics. I see like you wearing your country's colours, that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, if it gets to that point and they decide that they're like, "Hey, we're gonna need y'all to race in that because that's gonna be the apparel that you're gonna have to race in for,
Yeah.
if a marathoner can race a marathon in a shirt and a pair of shorts, then we can figure it out."
Yeah, I
Like,
don't know. You get. I see. It's more like a professionalism. That's kind of how I see it. Like I haven't got an issue with people wearing not wearing shirts, but if you go to the Olympics, there's like a prestige, that kind of thing.
I feel I'm indifferent about it.
Yeah,
Like I don't feel any type of way about it, to be honest with you, because I just see it as like, hey, we want to create the conditions for the best performance possible
yeah,
to happen.
yeah. That's cool.
But I understand that if you start tying yourself into something that has this level of, it's got a little panache to it. It's got
Yeah,
something
yeah, yeah,
where you
yeah,
need that you have to be a little more refined.
yeah.
Then okay. But for now, as long as they let me race shirtless, I'm not wearing a shirt.
It's kind of like I see it like a Wimbledon thing, Wimbledon, like every other
Yeah.
Grand Slam now is just wear what you want, but Wimbledon's like
White.
white. You
Yeah.
gotta wear white. You gotta wear white.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
will stand
I
up.
don't know.
Yeah, I did one Hyrox shirtless and I got a massive PB because of the heat. So it definitely works.
That's
mate.
because you wanted to show your abs off.
At the time, yeah. Well, a dad now, so the abs are gone. But
I'm a dad.
Dylan, I really want to talk to you about the actual racing, if that's okay. The Stockholm race
Yeah.
that essentially made you world champion. I suppose I'd start by saying the funny part about it is I sort of criticised you online a little bit. I mean, and shoot me down, by the way.
Not me.
Shoot me
I
down.
didn't.
I
I
clearly a misinformed fool, right? So I said that I was disappointed that Dylan won, but I didn't have all the context and I made a false statement. So, but what I did just want to get on this episode that your
Yeah.
response to me was so like exacting and like humble. It's what you would love to see from every world champion. So I just wanted to make sure that
I think from everybody
It's just
in the
amazing.
world, honestly, mate, the way you reacted, I was like, what a guy.
it's just because it was what I said was never sent with any malice anyway, as you could see. But
Yeah.
the way that you just handled yourself, mate, was just exemplary. So I just wanted to, you humbled me massively, and I just appreciate that this is how we even got here, right? You just saw that and thought, boo! I said, come put me in my place, and we're here. So just kudos to you again, mate. That's all. I want to just make sure that you got that.
Dude, well, I mean, first, like, I'm glad that you put out there like how you initially felt and everything. Because one thing that I've accepted in life is like not everybody's gonna like you. You could do everything that you thought you did right, and you think you're living the right way, and there are gonna be people who are just gonna like they're either gonna have gotten glimpses of you that are not true representations, or they're gonna have, or you're just not gonna match them. Like they're not gonna like what you are, and that's okay. I don't have to be friends with everybody. I definitely don't really like to have any enemies. And even like I never, for even a millisecond, was like, this guy's my enemy.
No, yeah,
Just
yeah.
my buddies, my buddy actually sent it to me, and he was like, "Bro, he cooked your ass." Like, just make it just. and so that's what I was laughing about, and I was like, "I'll get back to him on it. It'll be fine."
Yeah.
But yeah, it. I don't know, man. I try to be what I would like to see in the world.
Sure.
Is honestly the way that I approach it.
I spent some time listening to more of you, Dylan, after you were really nice to me after what I'd said.
Yeah.
And I can see.
I don't
who
think what
are,
you
like-
said though, and this is obviously I'm not sticking up for you. It wasn't
Oh, it's only yeah.
nothing we say.
It wasn't mean.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't
yeah.
me. It was just an opinion. It was just like,
Yeah.
hey, I like this is what I think I know about this guy. I didn't want him to win. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I've cheered against other people before.
Yeah.
And I can't like that doesn't make you a bad person. That just makes you that wasn't my pick to win. I didn't want him to win. He won. And now you know me, you're probably like, damn, I'm happy he won. Like that's
Yeah.
I think it shifted.
I'm still Hunter for me. All of
I would have said that about all the football jokes pre this, yeah.
Okay, yeah, sorry, I kind of dug back into it a little bit more.